Deadlines, family demands, and unexpected setbacks pile up until the day feels like constant triage. Even the best plans can break down when reality changes, forcing us to respond instinctively, rather than with clear thinking. Decisions based on mood and habit rather than principles that can be explained and tested often lead to confusion. Without a repeatable method, each problem feels new, leading to repeated mistakes and fragile confidence. The cost is not just lost outcomes, but also confusion about what is true and what to do next. Over time, unresolved problems grow, and learning remains slow because feedback is ignored or denied. Imagine a meeting where no one names the real issue, so the loudest opinion becomes the plan. Later, the same team wonders why results keep disappointing, even though everyone worked hard. Here is a path for facing reality, setting goals, learning fast, and building cultures that think well together. This video is inspired by Principles by Dalio. Subscribe for more decision systems you can apply daily. Embracing reality means starting with how things work, even when the facts feel uncomfortable. Treating problems as puzzles that produce principles ensures future choices improve. This matters because reality delivers feedback, whether welcomed or resisted, and denial only delays learning. When emotions and logic conflict, choices swing wildly, and the same errors return in new forms. One person avoids harsh facts and keeps blaming circumstances, so the real constraint never gets addressed. Another person names the constraint clearly, accepts it, and designs around it until progress becomes steady. This approach turns setbacks into data, which supports better judgment instead of fragile optimism. It also supports bigger goals, because grounded plans survive surprises better than vague wishes. Practice stating the reality of a situation in plain language before debating preferences or blame. Then write one simple principle from the experience and use it the next time a similar puzzle appears. A 5-step process transforms personal growth into a repeatable loop, rather than a vague hope. The steps are clear goals, identify problems, diagnose root causes, design plans, and do the work to achieve results. This approach affects results because skipping a step hides what is failing, so effort increases while progress remains stagnant. By doing the steps in order, a clean chain is created from intention to outcome, so learning compounds over time. Consider someone who sets a goal, but immediately starts tactics without identifying the problems blocking progress. When the first obstacle appears, frustration rises, and the goal changes again without any real diagnosis. This loop treats problems as signals, so avoiding them becomes a direct threat to achieving what you want. It also demands accountability, as problems cannot be solved if they are tolerated or excused. Try one small goal and force yourself to stop at each step until the previous step feels complete. After results appear, raise the next goal slightly and repeat the loop fast enough to keep learning alive. Radical open-mindedness involves assuming you might be wrong and actively seeking better reasoning. The process is to suspend judgment long enough to clearly see another perspective, then test it with evidence. This improves outcomes by reducing blind spots when disagreement is used as a tool for accuracy, not a threat. Without this habit, confidence often rises faster than competence, leading groups to repeat errors while feeling certain. In one discussion, 2 peers argue to win, trading slogans and leaving with the same flawed plan. In a better discussion, both parties first restate the other view, then explore what would prove it wrong or right. Believability is a practical filter, meaning you assess input based on proven results and clear explanations. When one person has more relevant experience, the best approach is to ask questions first, then argue if needed. Use questions to map what each person is seeing and decide if the goal is learning or persuading. Subscribe if you want more strategies to turn disagreement into clearer decisions and calmer collaboration. People are wired differently, so the same facts can lead to different experiences of reality and different conclusions. Brain wiring shapes strengths, weaknesses, and what each person notices or ignores. This affects results because teams often mislabel deep differences as communication problems and continue to talk past each other. Understanding brain wiring can turn frustration into useful design, where roles and expectations align with how people think. Some people think conceptually and move quickly, while others need precision and stepwise clarity before acting. When these styles collide without acknowledgement, projects can stall because each side believes the other is irrational. This idea supports better choices by making self-knowledge a key part of decision-making, rather than an afterthought. It also supports better teams, as placing the right people in the right roles reduces conflict and wasted effort. Start by identifying your default style, then ask what you do well and what you consistently avoid. Next, build habits that train your weaker areas with patience while leveraging others' strengths where you lack them. In an idea meritocracy, the best thinking prevails, not the highest status or loudest voice. The mechanism involves radical truth and transparency, along with decision rules that weigh input by believability. As a result, important issues remain visible, allowing weak logic to be tested before it becomes a costly mistake. Trust grows when people openly explain their reasoning, making accountability a normal part of the process. In one workplace, people filter questions to appear safe, hiding problems until they erupt into crises. In a healthier workplace, honest thoughts are shared early, and thoughtful disagreement test every plan. Meaningful work and relationships are reinforced when people speak openly and learn together. This cycle supports ambitious goals, as teams recover from mistakes faster when learning is expected. Adopt clear rules for surfacing issues, debating calmly, and resolving disagreement fairly. Then build tools and habits to make this process consistent, improving decision quality without constant heroics. The core shift is moving from reacting in the moment to operating from principles that can be explained and improved. When reality is faced directly, decisions become less emotional and more connected to what actually works. You saw how problem solving can be treated as puzzles, and how a 5-step loop converts setbacks into progress. You also saw how open-minded disagreement and believability filters create better answers than private certainty. Understanding wiring differences reduces unnecessary conflict and helps place people where they can succeed consistently. Building an idea meritocracy keeps issues visible, makes learning normal, and links excellence to relationships. Start small by writing one principle for a recurring situation, then test it the next time the situation appears. Next, run one full cycle of goals, problems, diagnosis, design, and doing without skipping the painful steps. Over time, these habits create clearer judgment and a culture where truth and learning are practical advantages. Subscribe if you want ongoing guidance for building principles that improve decisions at home and at work.